Hi guys, it's Lawrence. I just wanted to show you how I went about making one of my carves. I haven't practiced this or anything, so you have to excuse me. My sister sent me an email, and she found some words on Etsy that someone had carved out or cut out. It looks like they might have just used a scroll saw or bandsaw, and they were selling them. You can see one letter for $32 there, one word for $58 sort of thing. And she asked if I could do something similar on either, with my scroll saw or on my machine. So told her of course I could. So here is what I came up with for the first one. Oops, I thought I had it. Again, I haven't practiced this, guys, so bear with me a little bit, please. So here's what I came up with. The first words that she asked for were, rock party. And so I did this out of 3/4 inch MDF, and they turned out okay. So to show you what and how I came up with this, you can tell that each word is, completely together, so it can be hung up. I went into Cartwright originally, and what I tried to do was I tried to just go in and type in text, and I did it again. So I go in and type in text and use the outline function and even the bold function and see if I can get the letters to cut out. And you certainly can. What you can do is you can do it like this. And if you want to, you can even use the text spacing to space things closer together like this. And it moves the letters just a little bit closer together. And you can end up getting very close to what we were talking about, especially if you go ahead and select the bit and go with the 1/8 inch bit. And sorry, when you select that bit, go ahead and go to your depth the whole way through, 0.75. You'd want to take multiple passes, obviously, with this. And you can get very similar to what I was talking about there, where you can get that cut out. Unfortunately, the C is not attached there. The I would have to be moved down. We'd have to add tabs in, I believe. I'm not sure if they add them in automatically or not, but I don't think they do in this case. So, obviously, in my mind, this was not the easiest solution. So what I came up with real quick was something like this, where it's actually, instead of being text, there are vector lines, and then you have full adjustment over those vector lines. What you can end up doing is using what I did, which is the cut path tool. And that way you can add your tabs in there, have your maximum path depth. You can change the inset if you want to. All those things are taken into account, and it makes it a much more predictable carve. So, at any rate, I want to show you how I went about doing this. So, my first step to doing this was I opened up Microsoft Word. But just because I'm comfortable working in Word, I don't know why, but I am. So you can go ahead and type a word like Cartwright or whatever else you want to do, and just go ahead and make it big. Then you want to pick your font. So again, let me find a good font. That's a pretty nice one there, that Bickley script. Here's brush script. In fact, that's even nicer because it's connecting my letters together. So once you've highlighted it and created that, what I want to do is I want to save this as a picture. And the easiest way I found to do that is with what's called the snipping tool. Now you can just go into here if you've got Windows 7 and type in snipping, and it's probably already loaded up on your computer. Otherwise, you have to go download it from the internet, and it's pretty easy to find. Just Google it. I love mine, in fact, so much that I keep it down here on my desktop. So all you have to do is click on the snipping tool. You'll see it turns everything gray, except for this box right here. What you can do is you can draw a box with your left mouse button around anywhere on your screen. and it's going to go ahead and create a little screenshot of just that section you drew around. It's really useful. So in this case, I want to, and then you can save it. You can save it as a JPEG. So I want to save it as carve right. It's a JPEG file. I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, I'd already done this one, so I'm going to go ahead and show that on there. So I saved it on the desktop. So there we go. So I don't need Microsoft Word anymore. I don't even need to save that. You can see that right here, it's saved that JPEG file. Now there's some problems with this JPEG file. Number one, if we try to carve it just like this, you'd see that there's a lot of noise, and we can go into designer software and we can take out some of the noise and things like that. But for me, I really want this to be a vector drawing. I don't want it to be carving so much. I want it to be a cutout. So the way I'm going to go ahead and do that is I'm going to use Corel Draw, because with Corel Draw I found I can create nice, clean, and quick DXF files. So I can open it with Corel Draw. Boys are playing with juggling balls in the background. So once I've opened up, don't know why it's taking so long. There it comes. Once I open it up with Corel Draw, then what I can go ahead and do is click on it, and that lets me manipulate it. And I can convert it to a bitmap. Now, for something like this, I'm going to want black and white, obviously, because I want to get rid of all the stuff that's not black and white, which is all that noise. So I can go ahead and hit OK, and you can see when I zoom right in that everything that wasn't black and white has gotten, gotten rid of automatically. Now, that's the good news. The bad news is, if you look again closely, you can see that it's very non-smooth. It's a jagged cut. If we tried to carve this out, it would not be as clean as what we'd want it to be. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do with this bitmap is I'm going to do an outline trace, outline logo, because that's just what the, it helps the machine understand. Now you can see what's happened here. It's got outline and logo, details all the way up, the smoothing. This is what happens when you change your this type of image here. It just changes some of these settings, and you're doing that now. So here's logo. Delete the original image because we don't want this one anymore. That's correct. Remove the background. So yes, we wanted to remove the background. It's going to automatically choose the background color for you. You can pick a different color. Now another thing here is you can see that it's removed the background, but it didn't remove the inside of the A or the inside of the E. So what we can do is say remove color from entire image, and there it's gone in now, and it's removed the A and it's removed the E. So next thing I want to look at, and this, I don't know exactly if this is correct or not, but this is just the way that I've gone about using the system, and I found it to work well, is I look at the number of nodes. On some of my DXF imports, your nodes to start out with might be up in the 6,000 or 7,000 nodes amount, and the problem is number one, it takes your computer a lot of time to go ahead and process that, and number two, it can just cause problems. I mean, you simply don't want that that many nodes normally. So in this case, the host is 334. So it's going to be a fairly quick carve. However, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here. I can see that I still have some jagged edges and things. And in addition to that, I could probably get that number of nodes down. So what you can do is you can change your smoothing. You can see how this has changed. I want to go ahead and back out with my scroll wheel. And we don't want to change the look, but we can go ahead and smooth things. Now, corner smoothness has not changed at all. And you can see already just by changing the smoothing on these that I'm starting to get the number of nodes cut way down. In fact, it's in half to 141. You can change your corner smoothness, and sometimes it actually causes things to go up. So let's go back to smoothing again. So 129, 134. Say 134. So you can see that when you change things too much, you can actually change the look of your carving. So you probably don't want to do too much. Now for me, I can see with that R is probably a little bit tight still. That's 252. So you can get the idea. This is what I did. You play around with it until you find what you're happy with. At 199 nodes, I'm happy that it's not going to take that long for this to cut out. And I'm also happy that, it's a fairly smooth carving. Certainly much smoother than the original was. So, anyway, that's how you do this. That's called Power Trace. So I go ahead and hit OK. It gets rid of the old image, and it saves the new one. Now the new one here is also exportable as a DXF. So I can export. I'm going to go ahead and call this carve right. Okay. And I'm going to export as a DXF. For me, when I export, I always use AutoCAD 2007. It's just what comes up automatically, and I've never had a problem with it. And I just hit OK. I leave everything like it was. Now, once that's exported, I don't need to save it. And I'm done. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this recording. I'm going to move on to the next one. And then, so that way it doesn't take too long to load them up. Okay, I'll be back in a minute.